Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk to you about Beyond the Gates. So, this week was a good week. We moved story along. There wasn't too much, it was a little slow, but it wasn't that slow. But again, it moved the story along, which is what we like in our soaps. So, we'll start off with, we'll just go day to day like normal. So, Monday is the karaoke night, which the Dupree family have together, and this was what from the week prior, where Naomi made it seem like she wanted to go do something to kick up her mom's spirits, but in actuality, it's to help Miss Anita because Miss Anita was feeling down about her about singing and how she hasn't done it in so long. So they cooked up this plan to get the whole family to come to karaoke, and then they're going to have Miss Anita sing at the end of the episode with Naomi and Danny, and it was so cute. The song was a bop. I still go back to it and listen to it. So what else did we have in this episode? Oh yeah. Nicole and Vanessa, they talked about her marriage and if she wanted to fight for her marriage. Doug and Joey talk. Of course, Joey threatens Doug again. And he basically tells him, you need to ask your wife for the money. Or like trying to, get into Vanessa's business, like what he again planned to do, which was his whole intent, which again makes no sense to me because if I'm not mistaken, you were already going after Doug prior to you even meeting his wife and knowing that she can bring in millions into the club into her company, like her real estate agency. You were already like you didn't know any of that. So it was just like if you didn't know any of that, then why were you going after Doug initially? So again, that's another question that's like kind of I don't understand it again. Like I said, I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Eva, yes. I've been calling her Ava this whole time. I don't know why. But Eva puts the finishing touches on the party, and she's meeting with the event planners who are annoying. Those two event planners are annoying. But she meets with them and she puts the finishing touches on the party, and they try to make her feel bad about not knowing things, and it's just like y'all aren't from the gates either, so be still. She meets up with Thomas as well, and her and Thomas have a little heart to heart, and she talks to him about her life growing up and her stepdad not wanting to be called dad because that's not his blood. And then she gets emotional about her like suing, like if she were in Naomi's spot and she had to sue her father. So she gets emotional about that. So she gives a little too much information to Tomas, which is going to bite her in the behind by the end of the week. So let's see. So oh yeah, Leslie, she meets up with Mona and Ashley's mom because she goes on a shopping spree with the money that Ted gave her. And so they're asking her, like, where'd you get all this money from? Why are you buying all this stuff? It'd be better if you bought a purse instead of this because you don't, just like basically trying to figure out what's going on and what, but she doesn't give too much away. She doesn't give anything away. Of course, because she's such a good liar. So that's how we ended Monday. So Tuesday, oh, sorry, Kat. She talks to Chelsea at the karaoke night. So in the karaoke night, they all have like the family, they all have different conversations, which is so cute because it was like you see the relationships with everybody in the family. So one of the things is Kat talks with Chelsea, and she basically gives her like advice on like, or she like talks to her to ask Danny about becoming their CMO, the chief marketing operator, with their company. Danny, Naomi, and Chelsea, they have a little cute mom daughter conversation. Kat has a conversation with her dad, and he was just like, you're my favorite daughter. And she's just like, you're my only daughter, which we'll find out next week that she's not the only daughter. Um, Vernon, Chelsea, Smitty, and Martin, they talk about Tyrell, and they, get advice from Chelsea on how they can help Tyrell get past the bullying and all this other stuff that like that he's going through right now. And because Chelsea, she's done this, like, she's been in the media, so she gives them advice on what they can do. So that was cute because, each family member had like different conversations with each other, and it was really nice. Vernon also, he loves him some Anita, so he peps her up and gives her like the confidence that she needs to get on that stage and, give us that bop that they gave us at the end of the episode. So, that was really good. So on Tuesday, we get Chelsea, Samantha, and Kat. They talk again about Kat talking to Danny about becoming the CMO. So they finally get her to talk about it, to talk to Danny to ask her to be the CMO. And she does end up going to Danny at the end of the episode to ask her if she'll become the CMO. And Danny is just like, nope, I'm good. Which I'm happy she did. Kat meets with Tomas at his office, and she's showing him the video of them singing, and then Bill and Haley come in, and Haley's just like, ooh, that singing sounds nice. Ooh, who was that? So Kat's just like, yeah, that was my Aunt Danny. She's having the time of her life. And Bill and Haley they salty, and it's just like, why y'all salty? Y'all cheated on her, so let her live. Like, if she's not, like, I would think that y'all would be happy that she's not bothering y'all, but clearly y'all want her to be bothered by y'all, and she's not being bothered by y'all. So I would think that y'all would be like, thank God she's doing something else. We don't have to worry about her, but clearly y'all want to be under Danny's skin. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know. Y'all did her dirty. She didn't do y'all dirty. Y'all the ones who did her dirty. So leave her alone. Let her be. If she ain't bothering you, be happy. But of course they're not. So whatever. Tomas and Bill talk, and Bill basically tells him, if you like, I'll make you a partner, but I need you to be a snitch for me. So you're gonna like be in all the meetings, that those grassroots meetings that the ladies who sue them are having about the company. I need you to be in those meetings, and you need to tell me everything that they talk about. Yeah, I said it was going to be confidential, but it's not, because you're going to let me know everything that they talk about. And Haley overhears it, and she feels some type of way, but she semi sort of says something about it, but not really. And then Bill is lying to her, like, no, it's not what you think. It's not like everything I'm asking for, it's just certain things so we can make. And it's just like, bro, you still lying. So like, you still lying. Why you lying to your new wife? Like, Haley, watch out. You gonna learn. And I guess whatever. Leslie and Eva. Eva. Why do I keep calling her Ava? Eva meet up. Well, not meet up. They're at home, and uh, Eva has to leave because she has to go meet Nicole. And yeah, Eva has to leave because she has to go meet Nicole, but she tells her mom that the vendors for the cake people called her. The cake vendors call her, so that's why she leaves. And Leslie looks at her phones and sees that it's Nicole that called her, so she basically follows Ava Eva. She follows Eva to the is it the country club? Yeah, the country club, to where they're at, and she runs into Nicole. Nicole is talking. Nicole, Ted, and Eva are talking at the table. Nicole has to go make a call, or she walks away to go do something, and while she's out there, she sees Leslie. And this is after Eva had went out there and saw Leslie in her wig, in her Sherry wig, and she's just like, "You need to leave. Like, why are you here?" They're like, "Right over there. Leave." So she leaves, and then she comes back because she forgets her, if I'm not mistaken, she forgets her wallet. But she sees Nicole, and she tries to act like, oh, I'm just, I'm just walking up because, and it's just like, oh, Nicole, I just came to tell you goodbye. Or we really don't know what they talked about because it like cuts to, like, we see them talking and then it cuts to Eva and Ted talking. And then Eva sees them talking and she's just like trying to keep Ted from turning around or leaving the table. So then Ted finally leaves the table. And when he gets out there, Leslie's gone. So Eva's looking around like, oh snap, where the hell did she go? Like, what happened? So she goes home and she like basically is like, you're a liar. What's wrong with you? And then Leslie starts playing in her face. Let's see. Oh, Andre and Nicole. Not Andre and Nicole, Andre and Danny. Andre came to see Danny to make sure that she ain't drinking again. And he sees her, she's drinking water. They have a good little heart to heart and they talk about what's they talk about like they just talk, just cute little talking. She tells him like her fears on being by herself because she's always been like with someone. Like she started off modeling, she met Bill and they had a partnership. Then she had a partnership with her daughter. And so now she's all alone. And so she's afraid to go out on her own. And he gives her some much needed advice. So again, by the end of the episode, when Chelsea comes to ask, like, let's get back into a partnership with each other, she's just like, no, I can't. I need to be on my own, like basically. So we go into the next day where again finish Danny explains to Chelsea why she doesn't want to go into a partnership with her and basically tells her, I'm going to start a modeling agency with Pamela, her best friend, and I need to do this on my own. I can't always depend on being in a partnership with you. Like I have to be on my own. And Chelsea's proud of her mom. She's sad that she's not going to get that help that she needs, but she's also proud of her mom for stepping out on her own. After they've had their conversation, she leaves to go to the it's not Orphe Jeans, it's the bar place. I don't know what the bar's name is, but she goes to the bar where they did the karaoke, and there she meets up with her little throuple couple. And I hope she signed an NDA because you're known out here in these streets, and you really dipping and doing it. I ain't mad at you, but I hope you signed an NDA because if that gets out, what's gonna happen? But whatever. So Danny calls over her best friend and she lets her know like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the modeling agency with you. We're gonna do this. And so she calls over Andre to take pictures of him because she loves her some Andre. I just need her to let it be. Like, I need them to let it be known. Let everybody know that we're a thing. Like I don't know why they why they still hiding, but whatever. But yeah, so she calls him over. He takes pictures of them, and while he's showing them the pictures, he's like, saying like, talking them up, all this other stuff. And Pamela, she sees a little flirtation within them, but she doesn't say anything. I don't know if she really caught it, but you can see the way she's looking like it's like she sees something, but she doesn't say anything. So, you know, Danny's getting that much confidence that she needs to like move past Bill. And hopefully this is a like she's moving past that and she moves and she doesn't like that whole alcohol situation that we had earlier. I hope that's like we've come to an end of her drinking her sorrows, Hopefully she's done with that. So we see what's these people called? Doug and Vanessa. So we see Doug and Vanessa. Well, no, we see them separately because Vanessa is meeting with Joey at the bar and they're flirting, and he's like coming on to her and she's like letting him. Doug meets up. He meets Andre at Orphe Jeans. He finds a lottery ticket. Andre finds a lottery ticket, gives it to him, thinking it's his. He wins 50K. He calls Randy. He bets on a horse. He loses everything. He goes to. I'm sorry. He bets on a horse. He goes to the bar and he gets the call that he lost all of the money. Like the horse came in dead last, and it's just like, why would you? You could have put something, not all of it, but something. Why would you put all of it? Like Doug is something else. So he sees his wife, and Joey has his hands on her knees, and she has her hands on him under the table, And so he sees that, and then the next thing we see them, and we see Doug and Vanessa in a hotel, and they about to sleep together. So she finally, since the show has started, she slept with everybody but her husband. Well, not really everybody, but she ain't slept with her husband yet. So we finally see them sleeping together. So we also see Ashley and Darrigan. I'm not gonna hold you. They're boring. They take a combat. Only thing that happened with them this week, they take a compatible combat whatever that, trying to see if they're compatible with each other. They take that test. They're compatible. They sleep together, which was, they cut from Doug and Vanessa sexy and hot to boring. They couldn't even go to the shower. She makes them go in the bed, and it's just like, y'all are boring. So boring to be a young couple. Y'all are boring. And at the end of the week, they decide to move in together because this grown ass firefighter is living with some roommates and their lease is up. So instead of renewing his lease, he said, "Hey, let me just move in with you into this studio where we can see our bedroom from the kitchen and the living room, and it's all just one little spot." So that's where they're moving in together. So that's them. Boring again. So we go into Thursday, and Tomas and Kat meet up with each other, and Tomas gives Kat Ava's backstory, and he tells her the story that he was told, and then she's just like, "Yeah, I've met her mom, her surrogate mom. I think her name was Annie." And he's just like, "No, I'm pretty sure she said her surrogate mom's name is Leslie." And so now Kat's just like, "Hmm, okay, let me see." So she ends up pulling up on Eva, and we'll get back to that. So so we have Eva and Dana, or Leslie, sorry. Leslie, because I don't know what her real name is. I don't know if it's Dana or Leslie. It's one of them two. But they meet up with each other, and I mean, not meet up with each other. We get back to them, and Leslie is going off on Eva, like, you don't lie to me. Like, just like Eva had told her, like, you lie to everybody else, you don't lie to me. Like, I told you to leave, and you were supposed to leave, but you didn't leave. You came back, and I saw you talking to her. And she was just like, "No, you didn't see me talking to her. You saw Sherry talking to her." And I'm like, "Girl, just because you got a wig don't, like, Leslie, stop. Like, really? Really, that's what we doing?" So she playing in Ava's face. She playing in Eva's face. And Eva is just like, she gaslights her basically. Um Leslie gaslights Eva, and Eva's just like, I didn't, like, no, I didn't lie, and getting all like, because that's her mama or whatever. So she was getting loud. She put some bass in her voice when she went off on her mom, and then her mom was just like, "Who you think you talking to? Like, just because you working for them Duprees don't mean that you could talk to me any kind of way. Like, I'm still a black mama. Don't get it twisted." So she, like, Eva's just like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry." And she's still again playing in her face. So it's like, Leslie, you're like, you telling her that, "Oh, we don't lie to each other," and all this other stuff. But it's just like, you've been lying to her. Okay, so she gave you a white lie saying that she went to go meet up with the cake vendor instead of Nicole, when it's just like, I wouldn't mention Nicole to you either if I was Eva, because it's just like, you get this hard on for this lady when she literally didn't do anything to you. Ted is the one who did you dirty. Nicole didn't. So this hard on that you have for Nicole is like wild. And hopefully we find out really why. I don't believe it's just that whole, because she has him and all this other stuff. Like, that can't be it. Like, girl, like, you can't really be mad at the woman because the man stayed with her. Well, I mean, you can, but it's just stupid, because it's just like, what's that? That has nothing to do with the woman. She doesn't know anything. Again, she's not the one who cheated. She's not the one who took him from you. Like, they were already married. They already had a life together, and he cheated on his wife with you. Why? You thought he was going to leave his wife for you? I don't know why you thought that, but again, I guess you did, but whatever. So they had their little no, they had their tit for tat or whatever. And at the end of it, Leslie's just like, basically like, we're about to do every no, Eva is like, we're about to get everything, quit messing it up, like we got this. So they finally get a little bit, well, Leslie, I don't know if they're really okay, because Eva's like, I feel like Eva is really having second thoughts about doing this, because she's really starting to like Nicole, and she's like, Nicole isn't like, it's not Nicole. So they have a little, they're okay, and Leslie leaves to go get some milk, and that's when Kat shows up. So Kat comes in, and Eva's just like, how did you find out where I live? And she's just like, well, you're not the only one who can look into files. Just like, Kat, you so Kat is a mess. So like, they talk, and Kat's just like, I want to apologize because my family loves you, and I just need to get over it, and all this other stuff. And then Eva has to go into the room to go get her phone. So Kat's walking around, and she sees a picture of Leslie and Eva, and it looks like she's trying to take a picture of the picture. But I was just like, girl, why are you taking so long? Why are you bending? Why are you doing that? Just get your phone out and just snap, snap, snap. Like, don't you know how to be incognito when you taking a picture of somebody when you don't want them to know? Like, girl, come on. Like, So as she's bending over trying to take the picture, Leslie comes in, and Leslie like slams the door, and she was just like, who are you? And Kat's just like, and then Eva comes out, and she was just like, no, that's Kat. And she was just like, this is Leslie. And Kat has a flashback to her meeting Anna, I think that's what she went by. And she's looking like, that's the same lady. She told me her name was Anna. She had on a different wig. And also, Pete, that Kat saw that wig earlier that was sitting on the couch that they've been throwing around, like, see, look, boom, like saying this is Sherry and all this other stuff. Kat saw that wig. And then now she's having that flashback of seeing Anna in that little short orange 27 piece or whatever. So she sees her in that. And so now she's like, her wheels are turning. So she leaves. So what's it called? Leslie and Eva are just like, what was that? Like, what happened? What happened? Like, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. What else happened in this episode? Oh yeah. Joey and Randy meet up, and Joey lets Randy know that he knows that he did that bet, and he's getting closer to what he wants. Vanessa and Doug have a heart to heart about their relationship after they done slept together. They have a heart to heart about their relationship and how they still love each other and all this other stuff. And after they done did what they did, Vanessa calls an escort service, and it's just like, so y'all both are addicts. You're a sex addict, and he's a gambling addict. So y'all were really made for each other, is what you're telling me. So yeah, so she calls the escort service. She goes to the bar to meet up with the escort service person that they're sending to her, and Joey shows up, and you come to find out that Joey's the one who owns the escort service, and he's just like, you can be with me instead of being with someone else. Like, you don't need to call an escort because I'm right here. So I don't know if they end up sleeping together. We really don't know how that ends, or maybe I wasn't paying attention really, because they talk. And again, I don't know if they leave together or if they just sit there and talk, and that's what she needed from that moment. Um, but we really don't know. And then Doug goes to the gambling house, and he's sitting there watching, like watching them gamble. And Randy's just like, why are you here? And he was just like, because I want to make sure that I don't get tempted to do this. And it's just like, why would you? Does that make sense, Doug? Like, for someone so smart, you really can be dumb. But he ends up making a call, and he ends up making a call, and we that's how that ends. Did I miss anything from Thursday? I feel like I missed something on Thursday, but maybe not. Oh yeah, Nicole meets up with Laura, and she meets up with Laura to just bring her flowers, and Laura's just like, oh, thank you for the flowers. The last one they just took away the last one that you sent, and she was just like, I didn't bring no flowers. Like, I haven't brought you any flowers since you first got into that accident. And Laura's like, really? They said that that Ava brought it, and so now Nicole's wheels are turning, because she's just like, I didn't send her to bring no flowers. I wonder why she brought them, and Laura's just like, a good assistant knows, and so they start talking about what happened, how her heart stopped and how she got potassium in her. And so Nicole is just like, yeah, something's weird about that. So again, Nicole is starting to get her wheels are starting to turn too. So we got Nicole and Kat wheels are both starting to turn, like something ain't right in the water, something ain't clean in the water. So they about to find out next week what ain't clean in the water. So we go into Friday, and we find out that Doug actually, I think he called Nicole. I'm not really sure if he called Nicole because I know that he ends up, because at the end of Thursday's episode, he makes that call and he says, we need to meet. And then the next day we see him, he goes to Nicole's office, and Nicole is just like, no, Doug is just like, whatever we talk about, is it in confidence? And Nicole is just like, well, is this so? Yeah, I think that's, he did call her. So he basically tells her, like, he says he wants to be a patient, and that he tells her that he's a gambling addict and he needs help. She gives him some resources, what he can do. She offers him some resources with the hospital, like AA meetings and all this other stuff. And he's just like, I can't do it here. I don't want people to know X, Y, and Z. And she's just like, you need to get help. Like, you can't just do this on your own. You need to tell your wife. So he was just like, I'll tell Vanessa. So he goes to tell Vanessa, but he doesn't tell her. Vanessa is at the club stalking Diego, trying to see why he's dodging her after she done put him in his place because he was doing too much. Now she's doing too much. And I just need them to figure it out. Like, y'all a booty call situation. If I call you, then we gonna do this. If you call me, then we gonna do this. Outside of that, we don't need no other kind of communications. Like, Doug, you shouldn't have been coming to her like, oh, can we do, like, while y'all out in the open, or trying to like talk to her and be like, why are you talking to this old man and all this other stuff? You shouldn't have been doing that. Vanessa, you don't need to be stalking this man trying to figure out why he ain't calling you. You just put him in his place. He not answering you. That's why he not answering you. You just put him in his place. Like, let him know that you can have whoever you want whenever you want. So go and have whoever you want whenever you want. Why are you stalking this little boy? But I digress. So that's where we are with them. We see Naomi and Martin. They meet, like, they meet up because she had a session with Diego, and Martin's about to have a session with Diego. So they, like, meet up, they catch up with each other, and they're talking about how they're family. And here come Bill, like, yeah, we're all still family. And Martin's just like, no, we're not. After what you did to my auntie, we not family. Leave me alone. Get away from me. And he walks away. Naomi talks to her dad and was just like, I don't know why you think this family is still going to want to be a family with you after what you did to Danny. Like, no, they don't like you. They probably not going to ever like you. Like, leave it alone. I don't know why Bill wants to still be family with them after what he did. But I'm guessing the reason why is because he still wants to have that clout, and that he wants to still have all of that by association with the Debris family, because once you lose that, it's just over for you. But I don't think it should be over for Bill, because you have your own clout at this point. Like, you're a you're a successful lawyer. Like, you have your own clout. Like, stick with your own clout. Why are you trying so hard to be with the Dupree family? But whatever. um After that, Naomi leaves because Jacob calls her to meet a homeless woman, and she takes on the case or whatever. Before she left, though, Bill asked her to talk to Chelsea for him, and she was just like, nope, not gonna do that. You can call her on your own if you want to. That's on you. Bill threatens Martin and basically says, you don't want me as an enemy. Just remember, like, you may need me just like you needed me before. So remember all of that. Um, Martin being condescending, and I was okay with him being condescending to Bill, because Bill, sir, you're wrong. I don't care what happens, you're wrong. Like, between you cheating on Danny, you spying on these ladies, you lying to your new wife, you lying to your children, because we see a flashback of him talking to Chelsea, and Chelsea's just like, mom's something's going on with mom, and we don't know what it is, and like I don't know why, and all this other stuff. And the whole reason why something was going on is because Bill was cheating on her with Haley, and he didn't tell his daughter. He tried to make it seem like, oh, he tried to gaslight her and all this other stuff. So it's like, Bill, you're wrong, and I don't care what happens to you because you're wrong. What else did we find out? Oh yeah, we find out that Haley's not pregnant. Haley and Bill talk about if they want to have kids or not, so they have that conversation. And that's pretty much. Oh yeah, Thomas meets up with Bill, and he basically tells him everything that happened in the meeting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and Bill has the shakes. So the episode ends, Friday ends with Bill having the shakes. So I feel like something's about to happen. And how I would like it to happen is Bill has to go into the hospital, because he's having the shakes and all this other stuff. So I want that. I want Bill to have to go into the hospital, something to happen to him. And they call his medical proxy, and it's Danny because he didn't change it. So while he's at the hospital, they called Danny to come and check on him because, again, that's his medical proxy since he never changed it to Haley. So she finds out before Haley, and she doesn't call Haley. And then Haley finally finds out, and she comes, and it's just like, okay, well, you're not family because he doesn't have you on the list. So we gonna get something like that. But at the same time, I don't want that to happen because I really don't want Danny in Bill's orbit anymore. And then if something happens and he goes to the hospital, everybody knows that they're not married. So it wouldn't make sense for them to call Danny. But again, if that's his medical proxy, they legally have to call Danny. So we shall see what's gonna happen with him. But that's how the week ends. We do get a preview of what's gonna happen next week. So it's the anniversary dinner, so we're gonna find out the story. It's gonna be real good next week. I can't wait. I hope we don't get it until I hope we don't have to wait till Friday for everything to pop off. I hope like stuff pops off like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we get the fallout the rest of the week. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait. But yeah, so that's Beyond the Gates. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more. Y'all have a good one. Bye. I did forget to talk about Terrell and Jessica meeting up at Orphe Jeans. They had a cute little conversation about um, them seeing each other in school and him not talking to her. So now he's going to start talking to her. They talk about chess. Samantha does run into them, seeing them there. And so she thinks that her brother is now dating Jessica. So she goes home and she tries to give him advice and give him tips on dating. And she tells Martin that that's his girlfriend. And Tyrell is just like, you doing too much. That is not my girlfriend. We're just friends. We met up a couple of times. Like, leave it alone. So he has a conversation with Martin afterwards, and they have a cute little conversation. Martin was good this episode. I mean, this week. He didn't do too much. He wasn't the absolute most, but he did really good this week. So I did like Martin. He was being condescending when he needed to be condescending, and he was being a parent when he needed to be a parent. And I love that.